Hello and welcome to the Big Arsenal Discussion. I'm your host Giles, and alongside me we have regulars Robbie from Arsenal Fan TV, Amanda from the Gooner Girls podcast, Kelvin from the Black Scarf Movement, and Dan from Gooner Sphere and You Are My Arsenal. Let's dissect the Anderlecht game, every facet of it, from the defending to the midfield,
it's gonna get messy,
to the goal scoring, to the tactics, to what was going on the bench, to what was going on in the stands. Robbie, you can start.
Well, he dissected it. It was terrible.
Remember, Wenger said from the first minute to the last, we did not defend properly. And that's what I saw. I mean, people, you read a lot of the blogs and things, and they were saying for 60 minutes we were great. For me, sitting near the North Bank where I was, in the West Lower, we could see in the first half that they were attacking the North Bank. There were gaps in our defence.
No,
there was at least 2 times when they ran through our defence.
Absolutely spot on. Right from the start of the game, we didn't defend right. We were just bombing forwards, not taking care of our defensive duties. And it just seems, not just that Anderlecht game, in all the games we played this season, we are too easy to catch on the counter-attack. And if you look at the last goal that we conceded against Anderlecht, somebody on Twitter did like a little screenshot, and it showed that there were 6 Arsenal players.
Yeah.
It's 3-2.
Yeah.
90 minutes.
90th minute.
Yeah.
Let's just protect it. 6 Arsenal players in their half, in their box, just on a couple of them in the box, couple on the edge of the box. They win the ball back. All of a sudden, it's all their team against our back 4. Now, that's not right. I mean, the back 4 picked up the blame for it, but to me, as a team, we do not defend right. We're getting done game after game after game on the counter-attack because teams have realised now that we push everybody forward. And it's like we don't even care about the defensive part of the game. And you were right. It was right from the start of the game. We didn't defend properly. We're brilliant going forwards, but in that game, I just felt that the defending as a team was very, very, very poor. And I think it's almost like we kind of lack leaders on the pitch. Somebody who stands up and says, Kelvin, where you going? Wait, let's keep 2 banks of 4. Only 2 of you go forward. It's 3-2.
Can you imagine Tony Adams allowing that?
No.
So what happened? He did it against Auburn last year. We had 6 up there. And I think it was Jack that took a free kick. And instead of trying to keep the game at 1-1, we lost 2-1 because Sanya was in front of me and he should have been back there. They're doing it all the time. I don't get it. Why do they not? Why are they taking a free kick? Keep the possession. Keep the ball. Don't try and go at 3-2 to get 4-2. 3-2's fine. Get to the corner flag. What do they do? I'm not happy.
Yeah.
I'm not happy.
At 3-0, Ateta gets a leg injury, he's signalling to the bench that he's not right. Some people will say that was the turning point of the game because the fragile cover that we had in front of the defence was now gone. Bring on Flamini, and it all kind of goes to pot. What do you make of? Do you think that it's individuals? Do you think that there's 11 internationals, or Arteta's not an international, but 10 or 10 internationals on the field, and they should do better. They should know better by now.
Yeah.
Have to see out a game.
I think, like what Robbie said, there's a collective, should be a collective blame more than anything else. You could see Arteta's like a barometer, keeps us taking over and whatnot. Defensive presence, he's not the greatest. I mean, he does break up play to an effect, but I actually think Flamini breaks up play a little bit better, but that's down to argument and that's down to perception. I think we miss Giroud a little bit. In regards to set pieces, we have never been able to defend set pieces, but you remember last season when he was near enough and ever present, and he always used to, if it was a badly taken free kick, who was at the front post? It was Giroud heading it away. After 60 minutes, we did look weaker, but exactly what you've all said. All game, we had gaps. I'm really worried, to be honest. Debuchy, when he was fit for us, it was immense for us. But Koscielny, we all know, is the linchpin of our defence. But without BFG, without Koscielny, is like he's missing a leg. Yeah. It's that bad because he cleans up after BFG.
Kelvin.
I was looking at our defence the other day. I just don't understand why Monreal's playing as a centre back. It should be Callum Chambers is there. Bellerin can be at right back, and Bellerin has never let us down, and he looks a quite an exciting player going forward as well. And I think I think BFG would probably have more confidence in someone like Callum Chambers, because Callum Chambers has had a good game every game this season. But if he continues playing out of position like that, I know he's a multi-talented player, but you know that's not his natural place. Put him there, you know. I don't know what's going on with our defence. I don't think, to be perfectly honest, I don't think Wenger has really ever had a good defence since he had the one that he inherited. He added to it by getting Sol Campbell on a free. He added to it with Long. But I think the nucleus was there, and that allowed the newcomers to sort of come in and understand the way that Arsenal defended. But after that, it was, we've always struggled in defence.
But wouldn't you say that any defence would struggle without someone like a Gilberto in front of them?
Well, that's it. I mean, you know, the thing is, I don't think it's with Gilberto. He wasn't called the Invisible Wall for nothing, and it's not until he was out of the team that you actually realised what an important linchpin he was to that side. Now, I know there's a lot of people who disagree with me, but I never rated Thomas Vermaelen as a centre-back. Never have done. But I thought he could have swapped to become a good defensive midfielder. Because he's someone who's not scared of going forward either, if need be. I know a lot of people don't agree with it, but, you know, we got rid of our captain and a centre-back without getting a replacement in.
He's having an operation now, so he might have lost him.
Well, that's true. Yeah, if he stayed with us, he'd probably have an operation with us as well. So you know, it's you know that's
I see what you mean. I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
But isn't that just the randomness of football? Isn't that the beauty of football, that even at 3-0 anything can happen? That's just football. You can't predict anything.
It can be, but it's not. It was never the Arsenal way. I mean, you know, it's been discovered this week. We've had to look back a long time now to see when Arsenal have been 3-0 up at home and not won the game. Tuesday night was the first time in our entire history that has ever happened.
Really? I thought it was more than that, actually. I thought it was a couple more.
Obviously, you know, Newcastle the other year, 4-4, you know, and we've had 4-2 up against the Scum when they bring it up to 4-4. We've had big spankings in recent seasons, but we've never been 3-0 up at home and not won the game.
Do you guys, Robbie, do you think that there was a sort of a complacency in the team from the outset? Like, as if, I mean, Wenger said beforehand, look, you know, make sure you're on your game, basically, because we got away with it in Anderlecht a couple of weeks ago. But do you think that they kind of neglected the defensive side of things, and they thought that, you know, we just go out there, we'll play and we'll score as many goals as we can? Even at 3-1, 3-2, the substitutions we made, it seemed to me like it was a case of, well, we don't have anybody that can defend, so we might as well try and go and get another goal, because that's the best way of defending.
Well, then, if that was the case, they should have brought on Theo Walker then, to try and stretch the game a bit more. But I don't know. I think there's something wrong. I don't know whether it's complacency. I don't know what it is, but we don't defend as a team. There are certain players in the team that will defend as a team. So Welbeck and Sanchez, those two guys, they'll get back and they'll try and help out. But there's only, you know, what about the others? As I said, I felt it for a long time. I love Podolski. But it's almost as if he doesn't believe the defensive part of a game is anything to do with him. And there's certain other players in the team as well that, you know, and you'll see games, game after game, you know, defenders being exposed where players in front of them should be doubling up. You know, your Aaron Ramseys, people like that should be doubling up and helping out the defence, and they're not. They're right up the other end of the pitch, and there's got to be a balance. You know, listen, at Arsenal, we love attacking football. We love it. We don't want to be a defensive team. That is not Arsenal. We love attacking. But that defensive part of the game is, you're not going to win anything. You're not going to win a title anyway if you can't defend. And if you look at, you've got teams at the moment, like Manchester United, who've got brilliant attacking players, Falcao, Di Maria, this, that, but they can't win games because they can't defend, like us. The other night I watched Manchester City, defensively terrible, got beaten by CSKA. How can you so the defensive part of the game is very important, and we've got to start taking that more serious. And at the moment, it's as if we're not.
But you say that we love the attacking football, but we all remember the George Graham days, the middle 80s to late 80s.
I'd love to go back to boring Arsenal.
And 1-0 to the Arsenal, because
no,
we know
I don't want to go back to
you would now. You would now because of where we are. for a bit. It'd be nice for a
I
little
don't
bit.
want to go back to boring Arsenal.
Really? You wouldn't have
No,
liked
I
to have
don't.
been 3-0 up
I
against
want it to be a
Anderlecht and
balance.
shut shop?
I want it to be a balance, Amanda.
But at the moment...
With us attacking, with great players like Alexis Sanchez, and that doing their thing, and us scoring goals, and us scoring brilliant goals like we saw Jack Wilshere score last season, the goal of the season. I want to see that, right? But also defend. Have a balance. Not boring Arsenal where we score one goal and we just camp out for the rest of the game.
Of course we don't want to go back to that, Robbie. What I'm saying is we need to go back to that at the moment. We need to get back to defending properly. The problem we've got is we haven't got the defenders that can do it. And when you said about defending, where is the defence? Where are the players? The players are not good enough to be in our defence.
I think at the moment
that is the problem.
Yeah.
So you've got Sanchez.
So then they need help.
Yeah.
So then help them out.
I think what you've got to do, I think at this point, I see what you're saying, Amanda. I think at this point in the piece, we have to sort out the basics. And
that's what I'm saying.
You can only think about winning games when you have a sound defensive.
But if I'm playing football,
if I'm playing football, Kelvin,
you've got to win. I've got Monreal there, and I know that I've got my second choice left back playing as my first choice centre back, right? Me as a midfielder in front of him, I'm going to say I need to help him out a bit. I need to offer him a bit of extra protection.
That's what we're saying. But you're saying have the balance between attack and defence. I think we've got to sort out the defensive side first.
At the moment,
would you reckon?
If we defended all game, we get beaten about 5-0.
The thing is, if you've got a strong defence, you're not going to lose the game.
Yes.
Right. And we seem to our strikers, they're putting us 3-0 up.
Yeah.
And then we've been let down. Either being let down in midfield before it gets to our defenders, or it's just the defenders are absolute rubbish. But as Robbie says, they all need to play their own part in it. For me, Jack gives away the ball far too often.
Too much.
And I would like to see him release the ball earlier, because he picks up all these ankle injuries because he hangs on the ball for so long. It's always like a last-minute pass, and by that time the ball's gone. They clattered into him. We've got a free kick. Not only that, our game has now been broken up. If he learned to release that ball down a little bit quicker, that's a nice thing in the midfield. But yeah, you've got to have a strong defence, and you build on that. You build from strong foundations.
What do you guys think about our display on Tuesday night? Do you think it was defensive, collectively defensive errors or individual errors? Why don't you leave your comments in the box below? Thanks.
Did we need to have patience, or did you think that we would have been better to have got him out and brought someone else in?
We won one trophy in 10 years, and we were the Invincibles. It's just not good enough.
But they did move into a new